Hello and welcome to our top 10 tips for surviving the cruise buffet. When thinking about your next cruise, there are plenty of things that come to mind, including the destinations you will visit, the ship you will sail on, and the excursions you will take. Closely following those, however, will be the thought of all the scrumptious food you will eat once on board the ship. For me and my wife, our adventure always starts with a quick look around the ship before heading straight up to the buffet and sit down to our first meal on board. A good buffet really does add to our cruise experience, and a poor buffet can really take away from our trip. Whilst I will tend to eat in the buffet for the majority of my meals, for many cruisers the buffet is a place to avoid. There can be numerous reasons for that, but common ones including how crowded they can be, the poor quality of food sometimes, and the unhygienic tendencies of some fellow cruisers. For most issues, there is little you can do about it as it comes down to the line you are sailing with, the ship you are cruising on, and of course the people you are travelling alongside. Thankfully, there are some things that you can do that not only makes the experience better for you, but also for those sailing alongside you. As ever, don't forget to like and subscribe, and why not leave a comment below, as I would love to hear your views on this list. My name is Darren, and this is our top 10 tips for surviving the cruise buffet. So this one probably shouldn't be mentioned, but also it should. This one is not only good for those you are sailing with, as it helps to end the spreading of germs, but something we have witnessed on more than one occasion is the copycat phenomenon. If somebody walks into the buffet without washing their hands, it's amazing how those behind will simply do the same. But if somebody heads over to the wash basins in the entrance, people tend to follow and wash their hands. Become a leader and try to get more and more people washing their hands before heading into the buffet. And whilst it still won't be perfectly clean and germ free, it does make a huge difference. As with most points on this list, it does really depend on the ship and line that you are sailing with. But even the worst buffets we experience have a range of food. When we speak to those who have either never cruised before, who have never used a buffet when they have cruised, they seem to have the impression that it is just fast food, or at least unhealthy food that is on offer. The best buffets will have plenty of cook-to-order stations, including meat, pasta and stir-fries, and will have large salad and fruit offerings, amongst plenty of other options. They will also have plenty of vegetarian and vegan dishes, and allergy information next to all of the dishes available. My own personal favourite station is the carvery station, and whilst burgers, hot dogs, pizzas and more will be on offer, you can normally choose to eat whatever your favourite type of meal is. This is one that many will know, but it's also one of the most important things when it comes to the buffet. There is always an ebb and a flow to when they are busy and when they are quiet, and if the thought of searching for a table and then jockeying for position at every station puts you off, it doesn't need to be that way. At breakfast time, the buffet will always be the busiest around an hour before arriving at port, or around 9 AM on sea days. Or on an evening, the buffet tends to be busy around an hour before show times, whilst lunch times on a sea day can be the toughest to avoid the rush, so we recommend getting there early, picking a seat, and having a cup of tea first. This is something that I personally often forget to do, but it is something that can really make the experience of a buffet better. So many people, especially when it's busy, just go to the first food station they come to, or just go to the same station day in day out. To make sure you get the best experience and spot any dishes that may only appear once on your cruise, make sure you do a full walk around of the buffet first. If you come away from the buffet and feel too full, sluggish or unwell for the rest of the night, many will put it down to simply eating too much or having one dessert too many. And that can easily be the case, of course, and we've all been there. But it can also be because you've simply tried too many different types of food on the same plate and it is now fighting it out in your stomach. This is something that my wife tends to struggle with, as you head to a station, choose your food, and then you walk back to your seat. But on the way you spot something else that looks nice, and what started out as a well-balanced meal turns into a plate full of pizza, curry, steak and potato salad. Let the fight begin. We would recommend just sticking to a certain type of meal, so if you're wanting a curry, just add some rice and a roti. If you're heading to the carvery, just add some veg and potatoes. Keep it simple. Another issue that people don't like about buffets is that you often end up bumping into people, and you find people in your way as you walk around or try to head for some food. It doesn't even need to be that busy for this to happen, as people get distracted and concentrate on looking at the food on offer rather than where they are walking or if they are stood in the way. Try not only set a good example by checking your surroundings and make sure you are not blocking others, but also help from bumping into others by keeping an eye on your surroundings whilst you are in the buffet. A potential pet peeve of mine is people who walk along a station with a queue, but the opposite direction to which people are queuing, and then have a look and see what food is there to decide whether they want it, and just grinds the whole thing to a halt. If it's busy and you're trying to see what food is at a station, just join the back of the queue. One of the things I personally love about a buffet is the chance to try dishes that I have never tried before. Not only can you do that with dishes from across the globe on most lines, but with it being a buffet, you can try a small amount of a few different dishes, and then go back for a full portion of anything you like. That saves the waste of ordering a few dishes in the main dining room, something we have seen far too often, where people order a dish, take a bite, and then leave it. This isn't offered by every line, but the better buffets have plenty of different themed servings. Sometimes they are at lunchtimes, sometimes they are on an evening, and sometimes they may only happen once for a special gala night. But no matter what is offered next time, if you don't like buffets, why not try it on a themed occasion? From country-specific themes including the likes of English Day or Indian Night, to regional themes such as Caribbean food, and then from the seafood on offer on gala nights. Ships tend to offer plenty of variety in the buffet, so if you have a favourite type of meal, look out for the theme night that'll cover it, and head to the buffet that night. One gripe that a lot of people have is that the food can be overcooked and left out on the heaters in the buffet, which can make some things quite dry, especially meat, and can generally make your meal less than perfect. One easy way to get around that is to only visit made-to-order stations, where your food will not only be freshly made, but you can also get things done just the way you want them. Our favourite buffets allow you to get steak cooked the way you like it, eggs done freshly in the morning, and things such as pasta and noodle dishes made up freshly with just your favourite ingredients. Far too few cruise lines do this in the buffets, but thankfully our favourite line does, and that is offer some dishes that relate to the port you are visiting. One thing me and my wife love to do is to try local food and drink when in port, but if you're away for the full day excursion, it's not always possible. Having the backup of some local dishes or drinks on board your ship really does add to your getaway, and gives you a reason to head to the buffet if you usually avoid it. Something that went down really well on our cruise in India, especially with my wife, was freshly made self-serve chai masala in the buffet. So all that remains to be said is thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my top 10 tips for surviving the cruise buffet, and see you next time.